All right. So moving on to another of our Pechacha presentation. Let me introduce to you Meenal. Now, Meenal is an educator, a cook. She has many roles like a personal assistant to her children, a mother, a wife, a daughter, a sister, and she has a witty sense of humor. Now, she's on a path of her self discovery. So let's go to her and let's go through her Pechacha. Meenal, over to you.
Thanks, Saurabh. Thank you so much. I'm going to try. I'm not very good with technology. Just let me know if it's working.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Does it say believing in you? Do you see that?
Yeah, yeah. Can everybody see your screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes. So request to all the speakers, please keep your videos on when you're presenting because we are recording it.
Okay. So I just need to see if this works. Oh, yes, it is. So my topic, when I got to know that I'm going to speak on something of my wisdom, I said, okay, thankfully, I don't know anything. And topic I gave was believe in yourself, a very cliche topic everyone keeps talking about. But you see that over there, the third one, believe in me? Well, that's me, the third non-existent child. Here we are, four sisters, the one to the red with a black thing on her kurta, my eldest, dad's favorite. After her, pink, Nehal, mom's favorite. Skip the one in blue, go to the right. That's the youngest, everyone's favorite. The one in blue, of course, is me, the non-existent character in the family. Well, all three sisters, brilliant, excellent at education, extracurricular activities. Their names were everywhere. They were prefects. What is Meenal doing? Nothing. My name was always called out as Kamdar ki Bakri. Always doing That's all that I did when I was in school. Low scores, believe me, how do I tell you? 4 out of 100 is the max I got in math until my final exams of 10th standard. Very proud of that. But believe me, all that I heard when I was in school, you're a bad student, you're a failure, you're never enough, you're awful. Look at your sister. And two people whom I understand now when I'm nearing 40, who believed in me, but then I didn't believe them. My parents, my mom and dad. Had it not be for them, I would probably never ever be here. They never gave up on my failure. I think that is what I learned eventually. Now when I have my own kids, I owe it to them. Of course, it's not me, nor is it my best friend, but college happened. Met my best friend who changed my perspective totally, who believed in me and showed me that my parents believed in me. So all that I am after my parents, I owe it to my best friend, Sumita, who's very happy. She's not married, living in Australia. What happened? I got into SNDT, home science. I got psychology. I think I was just waiting for that one subject to interest me. And I've always been interested in human mind. What is it that wires them? What is it that they behave that way? And psychology is what really got that light in me. Jo thodi sa bheja baki hai usme. You would find me in the library reading. My mom wouldn't believe it. So actually, this is not me again, people, just in case you think it's me, it's not me. But yes, I would be in the library studying, getting notes out and trying to give my best because I enjoyed psychology thoroughly. Graduated with an outstanding O. Well, like an idiot, actually not. I got married when I was 20 and a half. Yes, I chose to get married because I wanted to continue doing what my sisters did. Dad's favorite, mom's favorite, wanted to do something where I would be liked. So got married to the man of my dream at 20 and a half. And of course, also had my babies really early, but very happy, very proud of them. These are my two beautiful girls. Of course, they're way older now. One is 17, one is 13. But they taught me persistence. They taught me what it is to be okay with not knowing something and be open to learning. So I owe it to them for bringing out the person in me. Moved to the USA, was there for 10 long years. Knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what. Finally got to know yoga is something I've always been doing, and dance. So I started taking dance class and yoga class for young kids. I started setting up programs in Telugu, dances in Telugu songs. It was funny, but that is what gave me my confidence back. That is what motivated me, because when I went to the US, language was a barrier. Believe me, guys, I didn't know how to communicate. I would just be numb when somebody would ask me something. But the classes really got my self-confidence back. And I'm so proud and happy of that. 10 years later, decided to move back to India, family reasons, wanted to be close to my parents, my in-laws. So we took that big leap. Not very easy. Of course, the heart seems all flowery. Wasn't that flowery, but yes, finally we decided 10 days, believe me, 11th day, I was back in India. And I think more than my girls, it was me who was struggling. Went for admission for my girls, got them through, and then the lady at the admin said, would you like to give an interview? We would like to hire you. I said, why not? I'm just wasting time. Went for my interview the same day, and guess what? They're crazy. They hired me same day. Apart from admission, I also got the offer letter in hand. I started with a nursery teacher, eventually moved on to LKG, and eventually to UKG. To all of you who are not so in terms with what is LKG, UKG, it's lower KG and upper KG. So I moved from nursery, LKG to UKG, learning all through this how we teach in India. These kids, these are my absolute inspiration. They are the ones I think who pushed me that no matter what, Meenal ma'am, you can do it. And finally, the moment where I moved from being a teacher to heading the pre-primary department, where I started as a nursery school teacher. I think that was a very big moment for me to boost my confidence apart from the classes. Here I am in action, something I love doing, talking. I'm sure you've witnessed by now. That is what I love doing, training, guiding parents what to do and what not to do. Mainly what not to do, because they love doing all this nonsense. New age parents, Saurabh, I'm sorry, that was not intentional. But yes, you need to know what it is. And then the moment, 2017 is when I attended a course on happy thoughts called Mahasmani Shibir that got me towards spirituality. Thoroughly enjoyed getting to know myself. Of course, I don't know myself yet, but I am there. And I think that is what satisfies me the most. And believe me, I'm telling you, if I can do it, I think anybody on this planet can do public speaking or come out like this and do a pachacha. Not easy. I still have butterflies in my stomach. I don't know how I've presented, but I know that I can do it and I will not give up no matter what. And that is my story. Be you, very important. Of course, believe in yourself, but be you. It doesn't make sense if I'm going to give this presentation if I would have given it being serious. And I believe this is how I am, honest, humble, and true to what I stand. And that is it, my friends. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Wow, Meenal. Wonderful.
Wonderful, Meenal.
Awesome.
Meenal. Awesome.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You asked me to a few 2 days back, how will I do? I must say, you really did well. And
thank you. And believe me, I'm perspiring because I'm so stressed. I don't know how I would speak.
It was fantastic.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I heard you have a daughter of 17 years.
Yes, but you also missed that I got married when I was 20 and a half.
No, I heard that. But having a daughter of 17 years, Meenal,
Yes.
I should congratulate you.
Thank you so much.
Nobody can. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you.
And
Thank
lovely,
you so much.
lovely Pachacha, I must say. I thoroughly enjoyed and loved the way
Thank you.
I mean, awesome, great.
I could learn a lot from you, how to raise 2 daughters.
But 17 years is again, it's a. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
sorry, I'm
everyone.
exaggerating it, but
Mama seems right to know this.
okay.
Okay. Superb, Pichacha by Meenal. Fantastic. A good life story, a good journey, a lot of learning. Now, moving on to another of our fantastic Pichacha story. Here comes Saili. So, let me tell you about Saili. Saili started a journey as an IT professional. She was in UK. She worked in UK for almost 10 years. And she's now a published author, a yoga teacher, and a life coach. She now claims to be finding the true meaning of life, that is her profession. So let's hear it from her. Over to you, Saili.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. Let me just share my screen. 1 second. Can you all see my screen?
It's loading, Sally. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'll start right away with this. Is it started? Right, so I'll get into it. It was one of those days when I used to put extra coconut oil on my head so that I could wear 2 tight plaits on the sides of my head in the morning, and never parted with my red ribbons and green bangles and a nose ring. I was just 8 years old back then. And walking every day to school with my heavy loaded school bag and broken sandals, I never cared how I looked. I never cared how I spoke or even how I fared in this world. I was just happy in my own world, with my friends, with my studies. But as I started growing up, I realized that I was feeling a big void inside me, like there is some kind of a lack inside me. And that was something I felt I was something wrong with me. I started hating my school. And no, there was nothing wrong with my school, and absolutely nothing wrong with my teachers, too. But I don't know how I felt that. I was beginning to see myself as a less important child. And the sole reason I believe for that was that my elder brother, he went to an English medium school, whereas I was going to a Marathi medium school. And I just felt it was not fair. Why did I not go to English medium school? Every time my brother spoke in English with his friends, I felt a deep cut in my heart. I couldn't understand what they were saying. There was a whole world of English language in front of me. There were English movies, English music, and I couldn't enter their world just because I didn't know the language. As I became older, I realized that English is not just a language. It was basically a status symbol in a country like India. So when my brother's friends used to laugh at me for not knowing simple slangs like OMG or what's up, I felt like a part of me was cut and thrown away. Like just because I didn't know the slangs, I didn't exist or I had no value. And despite being an intelligent student at school, I started devaluing myself. I started thinking that I do not have value. So I started being shy. I started sitting at the corner, avoiding people. And I thought all the people who spoke in English, they were much more polished and elite than me. And I was just this girl who used to sit by the corner. Then I met a friend at school who used to feel exactly like me. We used to walk every day to school together. And we decided that we would talk in English with each other every single day, no matter how silly it sounded. If we didn't know how to speak, well, I guess we would just stay quiet. And so we started this journey together. It was a liberating experience to talk in English in whichever way you can. Nobody to judge you, nobody to criticize you, nobody to laugh at you. It was just simply amazing to speak the English words out loud. And we didn't care how we sounded, so it was just us and our stupid English talks. Some of the best sentences that we came up with at that point of time was something like, I not know what to tell today. Or something like, today's teaching me not knowing. It was hilarious the way we were talking to each other. We used to laugh at each other to our heart's content, knowing perfectly well that that was not the way to talk in English. But who cared, right? So then when I went to engineering college, everything suddenly became English. Now there was no way to hide. I had to face English. There were assignments, there were exams, the oral exams, interviews. I couldn't keep up with all of that. And forget that, I couldn't even keep up with the conversations with my friends. So at that time, one of my friends in the college, he suggested that I should read novels. He introduced me to the world of novels. He encouraged me that you should read it even though you don't understand many words inside it. And it was true. I kept at it because the stories used to be very gripping. And before you know it, I had finished reading Sidney Sheldon, Dan Brown, and even J.K. Rowling. At that point of time, I started developing my love for writing. I used to write everything in Marathi because that was my mother tongue. But now I had friends who were Hindi, Gujarati, Bengali, Tamil. So how was I to write something that everybody understood? After college, in my first job in L&T Infotech, I was sent to client site in America to deliver trainings to our client. And boy, was I scared. I still remember my heart was banging inside my ears when I entered a meeting room full of English polished people. And I was thinking, I was just this little girl from a Marathi medium from India, and I had to train them for 2 whole days. You asked me how that training went. I actually don't remember. I was kind of in a trance. But I guess it must have gone well because the client was happy and he took us out for dinner that night and we had an amazing time. So after my marriage, I moved to London, United Kingdom. Now, London was the mother tongue of English language, is the motherland, sorry, of English language. So by now, I could get by talking in English at my workplace. But I was not happy with it. I wanted to write in English. Writing was my love. So I decided that I would start writing little blogs in English. And I started sharing them with my friends and colleagues. The blogs, they weren't that great, I would say. They were readable, maybe a little enjoyable too. So when I shared them with people around me, nobody came back saying that it was horrible. And believe me, people were capable of saying that to my face at that time. So after about 8 years of living in UK, sleeping in English, talking in English, even getting bored in English, finally, in 2016, I published my first ever science fiction novel in English. And I couldn't believe my eyes that it was right there in front of me. I had never imagined this for myself, not even in my dreams. Yet it is right in front of me. So now, when I look back at that little girl in the school who used to feel disempowered or who used to feel that she has low self esteem, I want to tell her something. It is not about English language. In fact, it's not about the language at all. And definitely, it is not about your brother or your family. It was always you, my darling. You just had to believe in your capacity to create whatever you wanted to create. Language is definitely a medium of your inner thoughts, your inner feelings. But the most important medium there ever is you. You allow the flow of this universe to go through you as writing, as science, as art, as whatever else that your heart desires. Thank you very much.
Go, Sally.
Yay! Well done, Sally.
Super awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Vipul.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Beautiful. Lovely.
Awesome, Pechacha. It's really one hell of a journey you had there. I mean, you've come a long way from Marathi medium to an author. Amazing. I
Thank
told you it was more like that English movie.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. I'm sure all of us have these kind of journeys.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Indeed.
Great.